Hi, welcome to the MuleSoft tutorials. This is Akash, and in this video we'll discuss about the filters. So in this video we'll discuss all the filters and we'll do one practical on one of the filter which is majorly used on all the projects. So we'll create one new project, filter proj, click on finish. So this will create one new project filter proj. Okay, so what are filters? So on the right side you can see there's a palette. Inside palette there is one funnel. So as you can see, funnel represent that we want to filter the message whether we want to pass it or not. So filter are basically used whether the message or event we want to pass through or not. If the condition is satisfied, it will pass through, and if the condition is not satisfied, it will stop that particular flow at that point of time. So we have three logical filters: and filter, or filter, and not filter. Then we have one custom filter. If we want to write our custom filter, we can use that and we can write our Java code inside src main Java and we can refer that code using custom filter. Then we have exception filter. So if the condition matches, it will throws an exception. We have expression filter. Expression filter is used to evaluate the expression. If the expression is true, then it's fine. If it is not, it will not basically continue the process. Okay, and then we have filter reference. We can create our own global filter and we can use filter reference. So I will show you just a minute. We'll just drag one HTTP from palette and we'll configure this HTTP. We'll save. So save it, and now we'll go to filters. So this is and filter. Here we need to write the and nested conditions we can write by adding this. Okay, and then we have custom filter. Here we need to give the Java class path. And then we have exception filter. So here we'll write the exception. Click on over here and we have exception class, and in the condition satisfied it will throws an exception, otherwise it will not throws an exception. And then we have filter reference. We can define our global filter and we can use that filter reference over here. So, and one of the majorly used industry is the idempotent message. So this basically filter is used to you can say neglect which the messages which we are already got. So it will neglect the messages which is already processed. So let's say I am sending two requests from the front end and I want to X, and both the requests are same. So with the same ID, so what we'll do, this will throws an exception that this message is already processed. Then we have not and all. This is the logical filters, and then we have regex. So in regex filter basically use, we'll write one regex expression, regular expression, and from here this will basically check whether a regular expression is correct, then it will continue it, otherwise it will stop the flow. And then we have schema validator and wildcard. These are not majorly used. So schema validation is used to validate the schema. What, let's say we have given input as a JSON, it will validate that schema. We'll give the schema path over here. Schema location we need to give over here. So to start with the idempotent, we'll discuss. You can go through this all the filters and try to work on those filters. In this tutorial, we'll go through the idempotent filter. So basically, idempotent filter is used to neglect the request which we already processed. Okay, so here is the expression. It will evaluate whether that expression is came for to process or not. So what we'll do, we'll send one JSON as an input. Let's say this is localhost 8081 post operation, Inside body, I have application JSON with ID 123 and name Akash. This is my request. And add important filter is so it will basically check whether the ID is already processed before or not. So I will do JSON colon ID, and if I want to throw an exception, I will throw on unexpected accepted, and then I will write a logger. Inside that logger, I will log hash payload, and then I will add one exception strategy. So if exception is coming, we can see that how. So I will put when as nothing, so it will catch all types of exceptions, and then I will add one logger inside it, and we'll do message. You can write request is already processed. We'll save this, and we add important filter at JSON ID, it throws an exception. Everything looks good. I will deploy this application. Run as, or we'll try to debug this application. We'll see how things are going. We'll put one debug point. So this will deploy my application on local. I will do no for now and then see the console whether this is deployed or not. Still going on. So it's deployed successfully. Now we'll hit this. So we have localhost 8081 post operation body and raw, and input is JSON. Okay, I will put I will click on send. This will ask me to switch the perspective. Now I am on idempotent filter. I will press F6 or next process. This is processed, and then in logger we can get the data. Okay, then again if I want to process the same request, this should show me throws an exception. I came over here and then press F6 or click over here. See, we got an exception. Org mule API routing filter unaccepted exception. Message has been rejected by the filter. I'll press F6. F6. This will go to my exception strategy. I'll press F6 and this will log request is already processed. And again, if I will hit with 4 5 and send, and down, you can see how things are going. Okay, so we have request and we'll press F6. Yeah, so here you can see this is process. So whatever the duplicate request we are getting, this will reject the duplicate request. So this is the main agenda of this idempotent filter. So this is mainly used because sometimes we get many redundant requests from the system. So this will neglect those requests, and yeah. So we'll not process the request which is already processed. So you can try this on your own by your own, and you can try other filters also. There are regex filter. You can write regular expression and check whether regular expression is passed or not. And then you can try the exception filter, custom filter, expression filters, and other filters. So uh, so so that's it for this video. See you next video. Thank you.